Okay, we're almost there. Y'all keep chatting.
Okay.
So I was thinking, I may be wrong, but I was thinking that after, or maybe during Phonemic Awareness Part 3, that we could introduce some of the kindergarten assessments.
That'd be
Good
good.
What do you think?
Very good.
Yeah.
So we are live. Marvy, I'm making you the host.
Thank you very much.
Marvy, what slide is this where I come in? What slide number? Do you know offhand?
It's the I do, we do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
All right, Marvy, you are live and you are the host.
Thank you very much. Well, hello and good morning, good afternoon or evening, whatever time of day it is for you. And wherever you are, thank you for joining us as we continue to present our Beginning at the Beginning parent sessions hosted by the Dyslexia Initiative. I'm Marvy Hagopian. The purpose of our meetings is to share ways you can support beginning literacy skills at home using a systematic, scientifically proven approach. It simply isn't enough for someone to say, read to your child and your child will learn to read. Reading acquisition is far more complicated than that simple sentence. To be effective, we need to have a deeper understanding. One important goal we have is to demystify what learning to read is all about. Today, we continue our discussion on phonemic awareness. We have found some wonderful videos with activities that reinforce beginning phonemic beginning phonemic awareness skills. Ashley Roberts is a co-founder of the Dyslexia Initiative. She's facilitating today's meeting and will monitor your comments in the chat box. Ashley, please say hello.
Hi, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon. Good morning.
We enjoy learning where our participants live because we have people participating from all around the world. So if you do not mind, please write your general location in the chat box. Then Ashley will acknowledge your locations. While you are typing, let me introduce our panel of educators. Panel members have joined us to share their expertise and insights. They are administrators and teachers who are well versed in the science of reading, having experienced educators who know firsthand the value of teaching reading based on the science will significantly enhance our experience. Panel members, when I say your name, please say hello so we can see who you are. With us today is Dr. Norma Baker.
Hello, everyone.
Marilyn.
Hello.
Terry.
Hi.
And Michelle.
Hi.
Panel members' bios are on the Dyslexia Initiative's website. So Ashley, can you please tell us from where members of our audience are participating?
I can. Albany, New York, Minnesota, Kansas, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, DC, Spring, Texas. So, hey to my fellow Texans. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Long Island. I'm going to say it wrong. I know I'm going to say it wrong. Guyana. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Florida, Gwinnett County, Georgia, Maple Ridge, BC, Canada, Naples, Florida, Wilmington, Delaware, South Carolina, Boston, Red Bank, Newfoundland, Canada, Landenberg, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, and they keep coming. Bolivia.
Wow.
Wow.
Bolivia.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Your participation is greatly appreciated. Just a reminder, the recorded versions of our previous sessions are available on the Dyslexia Initiative's website, should you want to watch or review them. Well, let's transition back to our slides. In previous sessions, we have focused on the 3 cornerstones of beginning reading. Using the cornerstones as our guide provides us with a manageable frame of reference. Today we are continuing our discussion on Cornerstone 2, Phonemic Awareness, the sound structure of language. Children gain this awareness in a developmental sequence. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Phonemic awareness is the most critical and challenging of all the foundational early literacy skills that children need to acquire to successfully learn to read. However, the ease with which children develop phonemic awareness is often dependent upon each of the precursor skills and understandings we have talked about in previous sessions. If you missed sessions 8, 9, and 10 on phonological awareness and phonemic awareness skills, it would be worthwhile for you to watch them because these sessions provide the background knowledge for today's meeting. We have focused on what skills children need to become successful readers. We have also emphasized why they are important. Today, we're going to share with you how these skills are taught. If you have joined us in previous sessions, you know we take advantage of the online videos that illustrate the topics we are covering. In our first video, Dr. Joseph Torgeson, Director Emeritus at the Florida Center for Reading Research, explains why it is important to teach phonemic awareness. He has studied reading acquisition and the prevention of reading disabilities for approximately 50 years. Let's transition over to his video right now.
Phonemic awareness is critical for children in helping them understand how the words they use in their oral language are represented in print. What's interesting to think about oral language development in children, somehow the brain automatically handles all the phonological stuff. It's one of the gifts of being human. And so the big challenge for kids is to make sense out of all these words that are coming to them from their parents and others, and to begin to attach meaning to those words. So they're really focused on the meaning of words. And not until you start to learn to read, you have to start thinking about really the individual sounds in words. It's kind of something new about words you have to learn to pay attention to. As we think about this task of acquiring power over words, particularly power over new words in print, scientists have shown us that there are sort of 3 or 4 very important things and kinds of skill and knowledge you have to acquire. The first of these really is becoming aware that words are made up of small segments of sound. At the beginning level, we call it phonological awareness, when kids are sort of sensitive to the fact that words might have syllables, or even that there are, when I speak to you in a sentence, there are individual words in that sentence. That's a kind of broad sensitivity to the phonological structure of words. And then as we begin to focus in on the individual phonemes in words, we begin to talk about phonemic awareness. And it's this last level, of we call phonemic awareness, that's really critical in learning to read, because the letters in the words represent the phonemes. And so if children have to become aware of these phonemes, learn to recognize them, to think about them, to notice them in words, so that they can make sense of how those letters work in words. Part of the job of becoming phonemically aware is not just understanding that words have these segments in them, but also learning how to hear the sounds in words not only when they occur in an easy position, like at the beginning of a word, like ul, but also when they occur in a blend, like in clap, or when they occur right after a vowel, like in pulverize. It's easiest, of course, to recognize a phoneme when it occurs at the beginning of a word. It's next easiest when it occurs at the end of a simple word, and when it occurs in a blend or in the middle of a word, sometimes it's harder for kids to pick it out. But the more practice they get, the more phonemic awareness games they play, the more opportunities they have to respond, the easier that becomes. Our first job is to get kids to pay attention to the phonological structure of words, or the sound structure of words, to begin to think about it. And if we want them to do this with confidence and learn easily, we start with simple things and move to more difficult things. The second thing is you have to use big mouth movements. You have to be willing to point to your mouth and make exaggerated gestures with your lips. I've seen some teachers who are very effective actually say, watch my lips when I make this sound. Notice what happens. That helps kids to really become aware of the unique features of that phoneme. Sort of the last thing I'd tell teachers who are giving instruction that's related to phonemic awareness for kids is to have fun with it. You know, I've learned this myself in working with kids. Once you find that you sort of make it a game in where you're discovering the sounds in words and you're playing with the sounds in words, kids really like doing that. That's actually the magic of nursery rhymes. It's one of the reasons that nursery rhymes appeal to kids, because there's this additional dimension of regularity and discovery. And so I would say that if you're not having fun when you're teaching phonemic awareness, you're probably not doing it right. It doesn't have to be rote. It's not skill and drill. It's really discoveries, making discoveries about words. That's exciting to kids. The first lesson for teachers is that we should be always assessing children's phonemic awareness in the context of our instruction. And of course, it's hard to do that in a large group, and that's why we recommend that part of every 90-minute block involves small group instruction. Most instructional activities are also good assessment activities. If you ask a child, for example, in a lesson to tell you what the first sound in the word bat is, and they say pat, then you know that they're not hearing that first sound correctly. That's a kind of an assessment.
How many sounds were in that word, Alicia?
4.
4. And how did you know?
Because everyone got in the boxes.
Everyone was in a box.
I'd like to talk just briefly about why we need to differentiate instruction. Well, the most basic reason is that for differentiating instruction in phonemic awareness is that kids learn and acquire phonemic awareness at different rates. Different children will need different amounts of practice. Some kids only need to practice a little bit, then they're ready to move on to the next thing. Other kids need to practice a lot before they can move to the next thing. There are two basic reasons why children learn and acquire phonemic awareness at different rates. One of them has to do with the kind of preparation they have for learning phonemic awareness, becoming phonemically aware when they come to school. Some kids have had like 1,000 hours of experience with alphabet letters and learning the alphabet song and learning nursery rhymes, reading along with their parents. So a lot of kids come to school with lots of experience in this domain. They're kind of ready. And you just kind of have to nudge them along a little bit and give them some interesting activities, maybe do a little bit of explicit teaching, and then they catch on. It seems like once you catch on in this area, then it's easier to learn even more. Whereas other kids come to school, you know, with almost no experience like this, or they might have come to school coming from a different language background that actually doesn't have all the same phonemes in it, or they occur in different ways in words. And so for them, the learning task is enormously different. They have to have very solid foundational preparation. They have to have some of those basic experiences that the other kids got in their homes that they never got. The other group of children who come to school, they might have parents who have read to them every day and who've worked with alphabet letters and tried to teach them the alphabet song. But they have what we call a lack of talent in the phonological domain of language. You can think of it like musical talent. Some kids have a lot of it. Some kids don't have very much of it. So for those kids, you could have an IQ of 120 and be low in talent in this area, and you're going to need more explicit, more careful instruction with lots more practice opportunities before your brain can really become aware of these sounds in words. So that's why we need to differentiate instruction almost from the very beginning.
They stand for a sound. So how many were there?
3.
3. There were 3 sounds in that word. In each box, we represent a sound. So we know there were 3 sounds in that word.
If I was thinking about differentiating instruction, I would think about kind of the hierarchy of difficulty in acquiring awareness of the phonological structure of words. In other words, it's easiest to become initially aware of larger chunks of sound in words. For example, it's easier to become aware of syllables in words than it is of individual phonemes. It's easier to become aware of the ending part of words. We call that the rhyme unit. So maybe by October of first grade, There's going to be some kids who are in their small group instruction probably going to be working at the individual phoneme level. They're going to be learning to recognize that words have different and the same initial sounds, ending sounds, and middle sounds, whereas other kids might still be working on syllables, becoming aware of syllables in words, or learning how to recognize rhyme. And I would have to have sort of different lessons and different activities for those groups of kids to teach them at the appropriate level. That's one of the most difficult things we can ask a kindergarten, first grade, second grade, or third grade teacher to do, is to differentiate instruction in a way that's sensitive to the individual needs of children and that really focuses on what they need at that point in their development.
How many sounds?
4.
4. Very good. All right. Erase the word. I am so proud of you. You did a two thumbs job for me today.
It's a great video. It might be a little blurry. It's an older video, but the message is what's important. Dr. Torgeson's video summarized the progression and importance of phonemic awareness. He explained that children's sensitivities to hearing phonemes are developed at a child's individual pace. As Dr. Torgeson emphasized, it is important to address the skills at a child's current level. At the end of the video, we saw an example of how the teacher, Nancy Dibble, progressed from a phonemic awareness activity to a phonics activity. She had the children replace the manipulatives with letters to blend a word. This demonstrates how phonemic awareness supports phonics. We are using this stair-step graphic to depict the various phonemic awareness skills. The beginning skills are listed on the 4 lowest steps of the staircase. Notice, alongside the right side of the graphic, we have identified the beginning skills, as well as the advanced skills. Today, we are only addressing the beginning skills of phonemic awareness. As we climb the stairs, the skills become more advanced. On the first step, you see isolating and identifying phonemes. Phoneme isolation involves noticing the position of where individual sounds appear in a word. Phoneme identification is like phoneme isolation, except the child is comparing words and saying the sound the words have in common. For example, what is the common sound in the words dig, dash, and doll? The answer is D. The next step, which is orange on the graphic, is phoneme counting. This skill involves noticing the number of phonemes or sounds in a word. The yellow level on the stair steps is blending. Blending is critical for decoding words because we blend sounds together to read. Segmenting skills are represented on the green step. Phoneme segmentation involves dividing a word into phonemes, which is a necessary skill for spelling words correctly. The top 3 levels on the staircase are the advanced skills of adding, deleting, and substituting phonemes. These skills are often developed in tandem with phonics and spelling instruction. We will address these skills in future lessons. Before we share the kinds of activities you can do with your child to develop phonemic awareness, we will start with an explanation of a basic tutoring strategy you can use. This graphic shows an approach an adult can use to teach new skills. Anytime something new is taught, whether it's teaching a child how to put toys away, set the table, navigate how print works, or perform other early literacy tasks, not skills, early literacy tasks, the I do it, we do it, you do it approach is a highly effective method for teaching and learning. So in the I do it stage of this strategy, the adult establishes what the child will learn and explains why the task is important. One of our panel members, Terry, will play the role of the adult in this stage. So, Terry, you start out.
Today, we are going to blend or connect sounds to say a word. This is important because we blend sounds when we read.
In the next step, the adult models what the new learning looks like.
I will show you how to blend the sounds. Listen as I say these sounds. A, t. Now I'm going to blend the sounds to say the word mat.
After the adult has modeled the skill, the child and adult practice the new learning together. This is the we do it phase. During this stage, the adult is taking the child step by step through the new activity. The adult checks for understanding and assists the child in successfully practicing the new skill. If the child seems confused or hesitant, the adult provides feedback by commenting on what the child did correctly and what needs improvement. Then the adult models the task again. This stage of instruction continues until the child has successfully completed the task multiple times. Now the child is ready to practice the skill independently in the you do it stage. But notice how on the graphic, the blue color of the I do it stage and the green color of the we do it stage wraps around the you do it stage. This is a reminder the adult always monitors the child as the activity is being performed. This way, the adult can intervene on the spot to correct errors, thus ensuring the task is practiced correctly. When we provide feedback, we are fine-tuning the child's understanding. Before providing feedback, it's a good idea to start the conversation with a few positive remarks. Reinforcing what the child is doing correctly helps them be more receptive to any corrections. We have chosen several different videos for you to watch that depict the tutoring model we just presented. The videos show how to use this model with the beginning levels of phonemic awareness skills. We will start with a first step on the graphic, isolating and identifying phonemes. So I will transition now to our very first video, which is, I believe, here. No, sorry. Let me try that again. I've lost some of my screens. So let me try it again. Oh. Okay. Are we seeing our first video?
No, we have a blank slide.
Okay.
Big awareness is critical for children.
I'm
in
sorry.
helping them understand
It's
how
just,
the words they use in the oral language are.
That my screen that I need to find. I need to find my screen. That's all I need to say is it disappeared on me. So I have to, I know I'm gonna do this a different way. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna go back to my slide and copy the link. Every once in a while, things just don't go exactly the way we want them to. If I click on here, we'll get what we need. Are you able to see this?
Yes,
Hey, and welcome to
but we see all your other stuff. There you go.
has been all about the different phonemic awareness skills that you need.
I'm going to start this from the beginning.
To your Hey everybody, and welcome to another week of Kinder Chat. This series has been all about the different phonemic awareness skills that you need to be teaching to your students to ensure that they are learning how to read efficiently and properly. So today is going to be all about phoneme categorization. And I know when I first heard this term, I had no clue what it meant. But pretty much what it means is you are matching 2 out of 3 words that have the same beginning sound, middle sound, ending sound, or rhyming word. So today I'm just going to share with you an easy lesson that you can do in your small group. You could also do this whole group. Remember, if you are using daily phonemic awareness warm-ups, you are already giving your students a daily dose of this phonemic awareness practice. So let's go into phoneme categorization. So the first thing I like to do at my small group is a quick warm-up. This warm-up should take no more than a minute, and it's just to kind of easily assess where your students are. So what I would do is for each student, I would have them identify which 2 words have the same beginning sound. So I might say the words map, mom, and hen. Which 2 words have the same beginning sound? And the student can repeat the words after me, and then they will tell me that map and mom have the same beginning sound because they both start with the sound. So I would just do that really quick, and that would be my warm-up. That's it, super easy. The next part I would do is kind of like a little whole group lesson, but you could do this in your small group too. So this activity, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do it. You could also do this with rhyming words as well. But pretty much what you're going to do is you are going to point to each picture and have your students say what the picture is. So 5, book, fox. Which 2 words have the same beginning sound? Repeat after me. 5, book, fox. And your students should be able to tell you 5 and fox. And what you can do is you can just easily flip this card around, and now these 2 words have the same beginning sound. So we're going to do the same thing, but for middle sound. So they would repeat the words, pin, nut, mug. Which 2 words have the same middle sound? You would call on your student, they would say nut and mug both have the middle up sound. And then they could come and flip this one over. So same thing with the ending sound. Coat, mat, hen. Which 2 have the same ending sound? And your students would say coat and mat have the same ending sound, and they would flip the picture of the hen around. So you can do this activity with a pocket chart. You don't need one. You can just have pictures taped to the board or stick it on with magnets, whatever works. I have these picture sort cards. I use them for everything. They are found in my phonics units. So moving on, once you do kind of like a whole group lesson with your small group, you can move on to more of an independent practice. where you might model the first part with your students and then see if they're able to do it a few on their own. This is really helpful, especially if your students did not get it at the beginning warm-up practice and maybe they were starting to get it here. This is just a way that you can tell if they were able to get it or not. So this worksheet is matching beginning sounds. So they're gonna look at the first picture, and it's a picture of a house. And you can read off the rest of the pictures to them. Horse, hammer, tie, horn. Which one does not belong is one thing you could ask. Or you could ask which pictures have the same beginning sound as house. And what they can do is they can either color it in or circle it, or they can cover it up with like a pom-pom or some kind of counter. So what I would suggest is you model how to do one, you do one together, and then you have them, they have 4 times that they can try it on their own. So if you don't like wasting paper for worksheets, this is really easy to just use with, you can laminate it and just use a dry erase marker and reuse it a couple of times. So after they do their 4, you can go over it with them and see where they're at with this skill. So I hope that was really helpful for you all, learning what phoneme categorization is and a quick small group lesson that you can do with your students. If you want to learn more about phoneme categorization, you can look at the links below. I have a blog post linked for you that will be helpful with even more activities to practice this skill. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.
It always gets interesting. Now I've lost my slides. It's not showing up now. Okay, well, I will find it. Just give me a second. Let me, at least you can see me. I'm going to get out of here and do a little searching. I don't know. Sometimes when I am doing these presentations, my my slides get lost behind another screen. I don't really know why that happens, but it does happen. So right now I'm unable to find my slides. So I can do something different. I apologize, but this will just take a second and then we'll be up and running again. Okay. I think this will work now. There we are. Everybody see that?
Mhm.
Now, Kristina Harrill showed us how to use pictures to practice isolating and identifying phonemes. Ms. Harrill used the term categorization to describe the activities she is doing. In our experience, we have used the term, we use the term isolation or identification to name the skill of noticing which phonemes sound the same at the beginning, at the end, and in the middle of a word. Each of these tasks were previously taught to her class. She was showing us examples of activities she uses to check for understanding. The video is an example of how we can use pictures to teach beginning phonemic awareness. It's important to remember that the beginning or initial sounds are taught first. Then, when the initial sounds have been learned, we progress to the ending or final sounds. Middle or medial sounds, which are the most difficult to distinguish, are taught after the child can readily isolate or identify beginning and ending sounds. This video was most likely a cumulative activity in which the teacher had already taught the skills in the sequence that Dr. Torgerson recommends. In the next video, Miss Casso shows us how she does oral blending using a puppet. And here she is. Let's watch.
Hi everyone, welcome to Nitty Gritty Phonics. I'm Miss Casso, and this is one of my younger students. Tell them your name.
Betty Sue.
Now Betty Sue here has been practicing reading with her ears. What does that mean? Well, I say 3 sounds, and she listens very carefully, blends them together, and makes one word. We'll show you how it's done. Let's pretend that these blocks are each a sound. Now listen carefully. You ready? Vet. Vet. What do you hear?
Vet.
Vet. Did you hear vet? If you did, great. If you didn't, try again. Vet. Vet. What was that word?
Vet.
Vet. If you still didn't hear it, it's okay. We're going to practice. And what are we doing? Well, before you read with your eyes, you can read with your ears. Open up each ear and tell me what you hear. So what will you be doing, Betty Sue?
Before I read with my eyes, I can read with my ears. I will open up each ear and tell you what I hear.
Yes, you will. All right, here we go. Zip.
Zip.
Net.
Net.
Sun.
Sun.
Fox.
Fox.
Hat.
Hat.
Nap.
Net.
Listen carefully, okay?
Okay.
Nap.
Nap.
I like the way you listened.
Thank you.
Hug.
Hug.
Men.
Men.
Log.
Log.
Sit.
Sit.
Good work.
Thank you.
Your ears are really working right
Thank you,
now.
thank you.
All right. Ready to do some more?
Yes.
All right, but tell me what you're doing.
Before I read with my eyes, I can read with my ears. I will open up each ear and I will tell you what I hear.
I know you will. Here we go. Sad.
Sad.
Leg.
Leg.
Win.
Win.
Not.
Not.
Jug.
Jug.
Lock.
Lock.
Mad.
Mad.
Jog.
Jog.
Wet.
Wet.
Mix.
Mix.
Excellent work listening, everyone, and blending those sounds together to make words. Wonderful job! Now hit that like button. Show us that you like this video. Subscribe to our channel called
Nitty Gritty Phonics.
Ask your parents to follow us on Facebook at Nitty Gritty Phonics, and don't forget about Alfie's Instagram account called
Adventures with Alfie.
Now we will see you next time at Nitty Gritty Phonics. Lock it in. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Now that's what Joseph Torgerson meant when he said have fun. Okay, we're going to go back to the slides. Using a puppet added an entertaining and fun dimension to this beginning level lesson. You probably noticed that Miss Casso used one-syllable words, each with 3 sounds. We can build on this beginning level of phoneme blending by using other one-syllable words, but those with 4 or 5 sounds each, such as past, glad, or stream. In this next video, teacher Nancy Dibble demonstrates the I do it, we do it, you do it model as she teaches phoneme counting, blending, and segmenting. So we'll transition to her video. We watched her in Dr. Torgerson's video. It's the same, it was performed at the same time. So the video will be a little bit fuzzy, but, oh, let me see, I need to share. But what's important here is what you will be hearing and learning.
Awareness activity with the Elkonin boxes. The goal of the lesson is to make the children aware that words can be segmented into separate sounds and that letters represent phonemes, and that we can take those and blend them together to make a word. First of all, I will review with them, segmenting the words down. Say the word. Rat. And then I will introduce the boxes, and I'll do this step by step where I do it, we do it, and then they'll do it. People usually call these the Elkonin sound boxes, but we're just going to call them sound boxes to make it simple. And what our little frogs are going to do, when I hand you the sound box, I want you to watch Miss Dibble. I'm going to place them above the boxes. Now remember, each frog represents a sound. So every time we say the sounds of a word, our little frogs will work for us and move in each box. Watch Miss Dibble. I'm going to do the word man. Watch. Man. All right? I slide them up. Together, I want you to do man with me. I know I've done that one, but let's do it together. Are you ready? Say the word. Man. Say it after me. Man. All right? Sound it out. Get ready. Say the word. Man. Don't forget left to right. Man. The arrow is down there to help you remember. All right? Slide them up. Does everyone understand what we're doing? Yes. All right. Now it's going to be your turn. I'm going to let you do it all by yourself, and I'm going to watch. This time, let's try the word and. And. All right. Sound it out. Get ready. And. All right. Slide your frogs up for me. Listen, my turn. And. I'll do that with me. Get ready. And. Now say the word. And very good. I want you to do the word land. Say the word after me. Land.
Land.
Now, sound it out. Get ready. You used them all. How many sounds were in that word, Lanisha?
4.
4. And how did you know?
Because everyone got in a box.
Because everyone was in a box. Each frog stands for a sound that we hear in the word land. Super. Slide those frogs up.
We're going to stop there and go back to our slides. The boxes Nancy Dibble used are called Elkonin boxes. Each box is a visual representation of one sound. Elkonin boxes are used for blending and segmenting activities. You can create your own version by simply drawing 3 or 4 boxes on paper or a whiteboard. Lego pieces, pennies, or other small items can be used to represent the sounds. In our last video, we are going to see a teacher's clever idea of using colored string for blending and segmenting activities. So while I transition, we thought that this particular video and using the colored strings was a really good idea for those children who have trouble with these two skills.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Multisensory Monday. Today's activity is a very simple activity that can be used to help with students who have trouble with blending. Have you ever had a student like this? They see the blending board, they know all their letter sound relationships. They go w, a, g, and then they just get stuck. You ask them to blend it together. You tell them, okay, bring it all together and read that word, w-a-g, and they're stuck. What that student needs help with is blending phonemes. As I'm sure I've mentioned before, the underlying skills of phoneme blending and segmenting are essential for students to be able to transfer that to letters and use it with reading and writing. So what can you do to help that student who's stuck just saying each phoneme? Like I mentioned, the activity is very simple. All you'll need is a piece of string. Well, this is actually 3 colors of string that have been tied together. We have green, yellow, and red. What you want to do is have the student use the string to help them get a sense of what it means to blend those sounds together. So while they're touching the first piece of string, they say the first sound. As soon as they hit that knot, they say the second sound, and then when they hit the other one, they go on to the third sound. And just like their finger is going to be touching the string the whole time, they have to make sure that they're saying the sound the whole time. So they're starting to blend those sounds together. They're going to start to move quicker and quicker until they can blend together the word. So it would look something like this. Let's go back to our example that you saw on the blending board earlier. They would go w-a-g, w-a-g, wag, wag. And having this multisensory tool gives them something tactile that they can do and is an excellent representation of what you want them to do with the sounds. You can use this even before students are ready for the blending board. You can simply give them 3 sounds, and together you can practice pulling on the string as you blend those sounds together. Now, the other skill that students are going to need to be successful in reading and spelling is phoneme segmenting. This is the exact opposite of what we were just talking about. We were just talking about bringing sounds together to read a whole word. Now we're going to be talking about taking a word and pulling the sounds apart. To help with this, you can once again use your handy dandy piece of string. Little bit different procedure though. This time, you're going to give the students a whole word. Let's use the word dog. And what they're going to do is they're going to start to slow down saying the word dog as they pull the string. And by slowing that word down, it will help them hear the individual phonemes. So it would look something like this. D, a, g. D, a, g. And as you can tell, it's much easier to hear the three separate sounds, d, a, g, after the word has been slowed down. So, if you have students who are having a little bit of trouble blending, and you notice that on that blending board, they're stuck on just saying the three separate sounds, or if you have students who need a little bit of help segmenting, they need to be able to hear the individual sounds in a word, go ahead and get yourself 3 colors of string, tie them together, and try out this really great simple tool for phoneme blending and segmenting.
Hey everybody, this is
I knew
Elise
this was
with
going to
Kindergarten
happen.
Readers. Today we are going to be discussing blending and how you
No.
can use some tools and techniques in your own classroom to help
Some
your
days,
students that may be struggling
things
with blending.
just do not
First,
go
I
the
thought we
way
should
we
start
want
by
them
defining
to.
what blending is. And that is the ability to push sounds together to make words. This can both be done visually as well as auditorily. And usually
Marby, we have some sound and, okay.
I
thank you.
know.
there are some ways that we can certainly help our students in that
Again,
area.
I've just
The
got
first thing that we
technical
should do is we should
difficulties
make sure that we
today.
are teaching our
I'm
consonant
sorry,
sounds
everybody.
appropriately. There are
But
two different types
I'm
of
going to be
consonant
fixing
sounds.
it
There are
in
continuous
just a
sounds
quick
and there are stop sounds. I'll
second.
demonstrate the difference between the two right now. So these are continuous sounds. They have more of a singing quality to them. They could
There we go. Some days, it just works out this way.
Well, the nice thing about COVID life is I think everybody understands.
Goodness. It's just, it's an adventure, that's for sure.
We don't see your slides, we see your narrative.
I know. There. No, of course. Of course, we're having trouble again. Okay. I don't know why this happens every once in a while, but it does. Okay. Now we're back to where we belong. Blending sounds for some children can be exceedingly difficult. The benefit of using the knotted colored string is that the sounds flow more easily from one sound to the next. The children know how to change the sound when they cross the knot. While attempting to blend the sounds, they start by moving their fingers slowly across the string. Gradually, they increase the speed each time until they can say the word. To segment sounds, children gradually say the word slower until they hear each individual sound in the word. Of course, you could expand on this activity by using knotted strings of 4 or 5 different colors that represent longer one-syllable words. In summary, today we learned we can teach phonemic awareness by introducing one skill at a time, using the I do it, you do it, the I do it, we do it, you do it tutoring model, using a variety of activities to practice the skill, and reteaching as needed. Remember, if you missed meetings 8, 9, and 10, which focused on the beginning levels of phonological awareness, you might want to go to the Dyslexia Initiative's website and view these sessions. With each at the beginning parent session, our activities become more advanced. We are moving in a sequential fashion and learning the foundational skills for later reading success. If you have been with us since our first meeting, you no doubt have developed an appreciation for how much children need to learn to succeed as readers. At the end of each session, we offer ideas on resources you can utilize to learn more about reading acquisition. Here are today's suggestions. Visit the links on the Dyslexia Initiative website, where you will find recordings of our previous parent sessions. To access the site, search in your browser for the Dyslexia Initiative parent sessions, or go to the Dyslexia Initiative's website at www.thedyslexiainitiative.org. Once you get there, choose Recorded Sessions in the menu, then click on the Parent Sessions, where you will find panel members' bios, helpful PDFs, such as we have a Concepts of Print bookmark there for you. And of course, we have our previously recorded sessions with corresponding slide decks. Remember to use the I do it, we do it, you do it method whenever teaching something new. And play phonemic awareness games that focus on isolating, identifying, counting, blending, and segmenting individual sounds in words with your child. Here is our upcoming schedule. We have one more phonemic awareness presentation for you. Part 3 will be aired 2 weeks from today on March 30th, 2021. This session will include strategies for blending and segmenting words with more than one syllable. If you liked today's session, please consider sharing the recorded versions with family and friends. The meetings are free and designed not to take a lot of time away from your busy schedule. Knowing we are reaching people from all around the world gives us energy and an enthusiastic desire to continue this important work. One of our favorite parts of each presentation is getting to interact with you. This is our chance to get to know each other, and it is your opportunity to make comments and ask questions about today's session or previous meetings. While you're typing your questions, Ashley, can you please share a few more of the locations from where participants are watching?
We had a few people check in from New Jersey. Homedale, New Jersey specifically was one city that was named. Dublin, Ohio, Delaware, Nebraska, and Fulshire, Texas. Here's one more, Joliet, Illinois.
That's fantastic. Again, thank you for joining us. We're here because we all have personal stories with children who had trouble learning to read. We know how it feels, and we want to help you help your children. So do we have any questions at this time? Sometimes, it takes a little while for the questions to roll in, even after they're typed. We have a slight delay. So, Ashley, do we have any questions for tonight?
Not yet. We've had a couple of other locations show up. Pittsburgh, San Marcos, Texas. I got to say, Texas is really representing tonight. Woohoo! Charlotte, North Carolina, Shingle Springs, California. I think we have about a 90-second delay from our Zoom to what's broadcasting on Facebook.
I think that's about right. We were very excited about doing today's presentation on what you can do, the how of what you need to know about how to teach phonemic awareness. And feel really bad that things got messed up a little bit, but we still delivered all of the information we wanted to. And we appreciate your patience when these things happen. So do any of our panel members have any comments about today's session? Well, I do, because one of the things that I was excited about sharing with you today was the tutoring model. The I do it, we do it, you do it. And what all of us can appreciate is how difficult it is sometimes when you're wanting your children to do something, learn something new. And that's why I was just talking about teaching them how to put their toys away. I wish, straightening up their room. I wish if I had had this model, I think I would have maybe been a little bit more successful in achieving those goals, because I know I was not that good. But I think that if you try it at home, just try that one at home. Using this model, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And then when you then move this model into working on phonological awareness or phonemic awareness, you're not only going to have fun, and your child is not only going to have fun, but you will have great results. I guarantee it. Well, maybe is this a wrap up for our session for today?
We've had a couple of comments. Rosalinda has said, thank you. This was very informative. I can't wait to share this with my peeps. And Lillian said, thank you very much. Phoneme examples were really helpful.
Well, you're most welcome. We do take our time in choosing the videos that we share.
So repeat the model one more time, just for everybody.
The model? Okay, it's simple. You think, I do it. That means I'm going to show you. I do it. I'm going to tell you what we're going to learn today, or what we're going to do today. Today, Robert, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you how to clean up your room, and then we're going to do it together. And eventually, someday, you'll be able to do it by yourself. But let me show you what to do. So then all of the onus is on us, the adults. We're going to very carefully, systematically explain how you do this task of straightening your room. Then, once you've gone through that process, and you don't have to take a long time, you're not going to be there cleaning up the whole room for your child. You're just going to start showing some examples. And then when you're pretty sure that they've got the idea of what this task is going to be, you're going to invite the child to do the activity with you. So you're going to work together to straighten up that room, right? And then eventually, not right away, after we've had lots of practice with the I do, I'm explaining how to do it. Then we do it together. Then finally, you can start releasing that responsibility over to your child. But, we'll still be watching. We'll still be helping when we need to. It's easy to remember. I do, we do, you do. But we're always providing lots of practice, whether it's straightening up your room or working on those phonological awareness skills. We're giving a lot of practice, and we're giving a lot of support in the we do. And we're watching carefully to making and working hard to making sure that the child is doing it correctly. We're giving a lot of positive feedback. When you first make your comments, you're going to say what your child did correctly, and you're going to celebrate that. And then you're going to make a few suggestions on how the task could be improved.
Marvy, could we pull out that one slide that shows the I do, we do, you do,
Sure.
and then just put that particular slide on the website as well as in the PowerPoint. That way, if people want to refer to it, they can just click on it and
I can do that.
have it.
Okay, I will do that. And
Okay.
I'll send the file to Ashley and she'll post it on the website.
Okay.
We've also had Sydney say, thank you, it was wonderful. I can't wait to try these with my kids. And other than that, we haven't had any questions come in tonight.
Okay, well, let's
Okay.
wrap up tonight's session. Thank you for joining us. I would love to hear after you've had some practice with I do it, we do it, you do it. I'd really like to hear maybe in the next session how things went. So I look forward to getting some comments and maybe a few examples of how the process went for you. Okay, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks for our next session, Phonemic
Night.
Awareness Part 3.
Night.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.